All right, let's just say you want to find a home. Where are you gonna actually go to find that home? In this episode of Ryan in Real Estate, we're gonna talk about how do you actually search for a home. So thanks again for joining to another episode of Ryan and Real Estate. I think we're like in the 30s in episodes, so thanks for hanging in there with us. All right, where do you go to find a home? You've got Zillow, you've got Redfin, you've got Realtor.com, you've got all these other websites that are out there. Where do you go to find a home that you're looking for? Well, first thing, when you're looking for a home, you probably ought to give a real estate agent a call. And as I mentioned in my previous video, that you should set up a game plan of what you're looking for, when you want to buy, all of that. But besides that, if you're just looking or you're browsing, where should you really go? Let's start with the process. Where do these homes actually get listed at in the first place? Well, if they're listed on the MLS, which is the Multiple Listing Service, and in Houston, that's called HAR for us, Houston Association of Realtors. That's a real estate agent, brokerage, listing a home that allows other real estate agents to see that home and allows the public as well. Well, whenever you go to sell your house, you sign a document that allows other people to view your home online. You're giving permission to do that and brokers to view that information as well. So the actual original source is on the MLS. And then when it gets put on the MLS, it gets shot out to all these other websites that have signed up for what's called an IDX feed, which basically sends every listing to their website. And our local MLS has to approve that. So like Zillow, Redfin, all those guys, they've all gotten approval from it. But here's the deal. All of those different websites like Zillow, like Redfin, like Realtor, they're actually getting your information and selling it to lots of different people, like real estate agents who are paying to get your information, that maybe they can hop in on the process and maybe become your real estate agent, and they're paying lots of dollars. So do you not think that those apps, those search engines are great, but they are directed at getting your information and being able to sell it? That's Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. But apps like HAR, which if you go to the iPhone store or whatever Google has, you'll see HAR app and your local brokerage. Those typically are not advertising. I'm at Compass. We don't advertise to sell your information. We're there just to provide the service for you to find that home. So just think about that. You really want to get as close to the source as possible. And here's the deal, something you may not know. Texas is actually a non-disclosure state, which means that when that seller goes to sign that form that allows their information to be given out, it's only been able to give out to brokerages. So if you wanted to actually know what a home is actually sold for, if you went to Zillow right now and you looked up a home that has been sold, you're not going to find in Texas. Some other states are different, but in Texas, you're not going to actually find what that amount is. You're going to see a money sign, but you're not going to see a dollar. And if you go to HAR, you're still going to see a range, but you're not going to see that amount because Texas is a non-disclosure state. So the only place that you can actually get that information from is a real estate agent or from the appraisal district, which is still not give you the sales price, but it's probably going to give you the loan amount or something like that. But the reality is, that's why all these other websites cannot give you that information, because Texas is a non-disclosure state. So here's what I tell you. If you're looking for a home, here's where you want to start. Number one, you want to not use those three websites because they have inaccurate data. I don't know if you've heard of the Zestimate, but that is basically an algorithm they use to kind of figure out what a home is actually worth. How do you figure out the answer? You go to a real estate agent, you go to a broker and you ask them, what were the comps, what did homes sell for, and they'll give you that information. Number two, they're actually advertising you. They're selling you to other people to make money. A lot of these apps are actually not a real estate company, but they're an advertising company selling your information. And number three, you'll want to go to the source, and the source is a real estate agent or a broker. It's the same thing. Like if you really want a appraisal on your Rolex, or you want to know how much a pair of Ray-Bans are, you're not going to go to the side streets into downtown New York and figure out, hey, how much do you think this is worth? You're going to go to a store that is credible and you're going to ask them how much it's worth. Get rid of your Ray-Bans and your Rolexes and go to the source. We'll see you next time.